All right, there was a list of countries that were the cheapest countries to live in that expats, would want to live there. That has pretty good health care and also other amenities that people are looking for. Now, there were a lot of things that they left out in this list that, to me, because most of the clients we're dealing with are wealthy people. If you're a person that's not wealthy, this might be good for you, because they were looking at strictly cost on living there. They didn't take consideration taxes. Also, if you decide to work there, most people don't realize that when you go and work at a place, or you move to a country, and then you decide you want to work there, and it's cheap, but you can't get work because you're not a citizen. They don't have provisions for that. And if they do allow citizenship, they might make you give up your other passport that you don't want to do, maybe because your passport's better in this country that you're moving to, or you just don't want to give it up. I always tell people that you ought to be picking a country that allows dual citizenship. And also you want to pick a country that I would advise you to pick one that speaks your language. If you can't do that, you're going to get pretty frustrated. I keep telling people this and they don't listen. They go to these countries, then they think they're going to learn the language, and some do and some don't. But you need to take this in consideration. This list that they had, this was someone that published this on YouTube. They didn't take in consideration dual citizenship. They didn't take in consideration taxes. If you're a wealthy person, you can end up spending a lot more money in taxes than the food, medical cost, and everything else put together. So you need to put that at the very top if you're a high net worth person. Anyway, I'm going to run through this list, and I'm going to tell you the ones that I think are the best based on that, so you can kind of narrow it down from there. And there's not many on this list, I can tell you, because there's just so many things. Either their taxes are high. One of them had a 41% Social Security tax, not including the income tax. It wouldn't be rough if you go to a country and the burgers are cheap there, but you're paying 41% in a Social Security tax. These are the type of things you got to look at. And people I don't know why they don't look up the taxes and consider that in the cost, but you want to be able to do that. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we do not monetize our channel. It would help us out greatly. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up here. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button right on your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And this can help us out tremendously in growing on our channel here, because we don't ask for money. Okay, now I'm going to run down start with 15 cheapest and then go up to the number one that they listed. I would say it's the cheapest, but this is the way they listed it, and they didn't take these other things in consideration. Anyway, Croatia was number one. And one thing I don't like about Croatia is they don't allow dual citizenship. Almost all of these countries, there are a few that will not have a language test. But you would have to get a test taken in that language, whatever that country is, before you get the passport. Now, you might say, well, Tom, I just want to go there and reside. I'm not interested in the passport. Well, you might want to go there and just reside. But this is the problem. Number one is, if you want solidity and protection, I would be getting the passport. Also, if you decide that you want to work, this is where you have a problem. You want to set up a business or whatever, then you find out that you have to be a citizen, and then you can never get citizenship because you don't like their citizenship laws. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now, how to pick these and do this ahead of time. You're not having to make another international move. But also, Croatia taxes worldwide income if you live there. And like I mentioned to you before, you need to look for dual citizenship. Do they make you take a language test to get the passport? And, do they tax worldwide income if you live there? And, what are those tax brackets? So these are some things I would be looking at. And anyway, so let's look at the next one. Slovakia is number 14. and they got up to 25% tax. They do tax you on your worldwide income if you live there. And Slovakia, anyway, I would not pick it myself. Okay, it's a very inexpensive place to live, but if you take consideration taxes, and they tax your worldwide income, that's the thing I don't like. Anyway, this is one of the ones I do like, is Georgia. That's the country of Georgia. They do have a territorial tax system. They do allow dual citizenship. It is allowed in some conditions, okay? And but they're going to make you learn that language to get the citizenship. It's not one of these that doesn't allow language tests. It does allow it. It makes you take a test. The next one is the Philippines. This is the one I do like. There are some disadvantages of the Philippines. It's a very inexpensive place to live. I think it needs to be on the list because of that reason. And again, I didn't make this list. This was a list I pulled up. And a lot of these countries are on these cheap list of countries, but they don't take in consideration taxes. The problem with the Philippines, as I mentioned before many, many times in our videos, the Philippines, in most cases, if you're going to naturalize there, they will not allow dual citizenship. They will with Filipinos. With Filipinos wanting to get citizenship in other countries like the U.S., I'm talking about someone going there to naturalize, okay? And also, you will ruin you and screw up your tax situation if you do it, because the Philippines taxes worldwide income unless you're a foreigner residing there. Once you get citizenship, that's all gone, okay? And so that's what you need to look at. But it is a cheap place to live. But again, the passport's not all that good, and you do have visa-free travel to Thailand, and Thailand doesn't have a lot of countries they allow visa-free travel to that country. But again, it's the passport's not good, and if you get it, you destroy your territorial tax system when you do that. Costa Rica is number 11 on the list. Costa Rica has a territorial tax system. There's a lot of places I think would be cheaper than Costa Rica. It's higher than Panama, and Panama's not even on this list either. But Costa Rica is definitely higher than Panama. I can tell you that because I lived in Panama for 4 years, and I know Costa Rica very good too. But anyway, they put it on this list. You're going to have to give up all your other passports to get this passport. They do have, a territorial tax system. They don't tax worldwide income if you live there. I do like that. But the problem with not allowing dual citizenship, I would not go there because of that reason. Latvia is number 10. It doesn't allow dual citizenship in most circumstances. It does tax worldwide income if you live there. They got a very, very high percentage of women to men. Some really, if you're single, man, it's got a lot of beautiful women there. But again, I don't like not allowing dual citizenship, and then they taxing you on your worldwide income if you live there. If you want to go there and visit, most of these countries start taxing you on your worldwide income if you stay there, usually over 183 days in a year. Okay. That's different in every country, but in most cases, that's the bearing that they look at on deciding whether to tax you on your worldwide income or not. Indonesia is next at number 9. The problem with Indonesia, it's very inexpensive, definitely should be on this list for that purpose, but they didn't take into consideration taxes, and Indonesia has really high taxes, and you're going to have to give up all your other passports to get this passport. Argentina's next. Argentina taxes worldwide income if you live there, and it does allow dual citizenship, but you're going to have to pass the language test too to get the passport. Mauritius is another one. I've had so many arguments with people on this one. We've done a lot of research on Mauritius. We've talked to people who've been there. Mauritius, in most cases, they allow dual citizenship, but I'm going to tell you, in most cases, you will not get it unless you marry a national. They got a great residency program. They got one of the best passports in Africa. But again, in most cases, you're not going to get the passport, and that's the problem that you have there. But it is a territorial tax system, so you can live there, and all your income made outside the country is tax-free. And I would put it, since I'm having to pick it from this list because we're taking cheap countries, I still would pick this one of the best ones on this list along with Georgia. And I like the Philippines, although I've given you the negatives of the Philippines also. Next one is Malaysia. Malaysia is incredibly cheap. I've been there so many times. In fact, when I stayed in Singapore for months and months at a time, I actually ended up going across the border. I could not believe how cheap it was compared to Singapore. You just go across the bridge, man, you're in Johor Bahru, and the rates drop on everything. Food, rent, everything is incredibly cheaper. Problem with Malaysia, it doesn't allow dual citizenship, and it's almost impossible to get the passport. They do have pretty much a territorial tax system. I think that's going to be changing pretty soon. But that's one thing that I do like is I do like their tax system there, and it is very cheap. But getting the passport, just forget it. More than likely, you'll never get that passport. Bulgaria is the next one at number 5. Bulgaria used to have a fast track program. The EU put a lot of pressure on them. They dropped that. They do have a residency program. You will have to, in fact, all of these just about, there are a few, I think one or two on here. And Bulgaria does have a language test. You're going to have to learn that language to get the passport. And it is incredibly cheap there, but they do tax worldwide income if you live there. These are the reasons I don't like it. Bosnia and Herzegovina, it doesn't allow a dual citizenship. But the thing I hate about this one is it's incredibly cheap there. One of the cheapest on this list, but they got a 41.50% Social Security tax. And actually their income taxes are pretty low, but they tax on worldwide income. But man, this is one of the highest Social Security taxes I've ever seen. They ought to just lower that or eliminate it. That's one thing I like about St. Kitts, where I live. St. Kitts, they don't make self-employed owners fund Social Security. You do have to do it for your employees, unless you outsource them or hire people as self-employed contractors, and you avoid it that way. And St. Kitts doesn't even have an income tax, which I think is even better than any on this list because of that. Colombia is the next one, number 3. Colombia, the thing I don't like about Colombia, incredibly cheap. I do like that, but they do tax worldwide income if you live there. They do allow dual citizenship, but that's the thing I don't like at all is they've got pretty high taxes if you live there. And generally it's about 183 days a year. I'm just giving you a ballpark figure on that. So, that's a high figure, a high tax figure that you're going to have to pay. So is it really cheap? Not if you're there, not unless you pop out before the tax kicks in. Sri Lanka is an excellent number 2. The problem with Sri Lanka, starting in 2025, they're starting to tax worldwide income now, and they've got. There's no language test on this. That's one thing I do like. One of the few that you can get the passport, and there's no language test on here, but they do tax worldwide income. That's the thing I don't like. Cambodia was number 1. I do like Cambodia, really inexpensive. A lot of nice looking women there. I like older guys. If you're single, they do have a language test. And if you get the fast track program, you don't have that. But if you go in the residency by investment program, you do have a language test, and they do tax worldwide income. They allow dual citizenship, but if you're there long enough, they're going to tax you on your worldwide income if you live there. Now, I hear so many things on the internet. Well, Cambodia doesn't enforce it. If they got it on the books, if you don't like taxes on worldwide income, if you live there, then don't go there. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, one guy might not enforce it, and you can have another guy that's a dictator. He comes in, enforces the hell out of it. So if they got it on the books, and you don't want to pay taxes on your worldwide income, don't move there. I mean, that's what I would tell you to do. But anyway, I'm going to just tell you the ones again I do like. I do like Georgia, Philippines. Costa Rica is pretty good. They've got a territorial tax system. Again, you would have to give up your other passports to get that passport. I'm just going out here real quick. Mauritius got a territorial tax system. Malaysia is pretty good. But Malaysia, doesn't allow dual citizenship. It's impossible to get the passport anyway. The other one I do like somewhat is, those are pretty much the ones. Cambodia, I would like it, except they tax your worldwide income if you live there. So anyway, those are the ones I would be looking at if you want cheapness, little to no taxes, and or they allow dual citizenship. This is one of the things you want to be looking for, folks. Again, it would help us out tremendously if you like our videos. Give us a thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button right on your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. We do all of these countries. We do over 100 different countries. So if you're interested in getting residency in any of these, we can help you out in it. And just go to our website, again, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.